Tribe. It is your girl Naja here, and I am back with another video. I'm kind of tired, not gonna lie. Boobs need to go back up in there. So yeah, sorry for the low energy. I'm just kind of tired right now. It will most likely pick back up because y'all know that's how I am. Like, it'll start out real slow and then we'll pick back up. It's gonna be a story time video, and it's about the time where there was a sword accident, and in specific a samurai sword, a real life samurai sword. And yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. If you've never seen my face before, hi, my name is Naja. I do all types of videos here. I talk about my life. It's just a big bag of fucked up, apparently. I'm trying to tell like more stories about the good things that happen in my life, so it's not all just like depressing and shit. So I'm really gonna try to start talking about more of like the better things going on, because I don't need y'all thinking that like my life is just full of drama, because there is good things that go on. So I'm gonna try to like focus on some more of the good things. Like when I did my story time about how I met transgender people for the first time, it was a really good heartfelt story, and a lot of you guys appreciated that. So I'm gonna try to do more happy story times. If you're new here, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up. It helps me a lot. It's like my like ratio is not matching my views, so I'm really gonna give you guys a mission to click that like button. Okay, click it. If you like it, like it. That's simple. ABC 1 2 3 MTV. We post every Wednesday through Sunday, but if you need some extra help, click that notification bell. If it decides to work for you, you're lucky. That's why we have a schedule now. But yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. So I'm not sure if this happened when I was a teenage, like if I was like a senior in high school, or if I was a freshman in college. I don't really remember, but I was still in a relationship with my ex-boyfriend. I call him L. You can go watch my other story times. I'm kind of tired of like explaining all the backstories and stuff. Like, if you want to know who these characters are, just go and watch my other videos. I was in a relationship with L at the time, and it was, you know, we were still on that on and off type shit. As always, that was pretty much our whole relationship, just on and off type shit. And L was the type of person where like he carried weapons. Like, he always had weapons. And at that point in my life, I was very, just to be pretty blunt, I was like a social justice warrior. Like, I was super hardcore social justice warrior. Like, I just didn't really think for myself when it came to certain things back then. Like, I was very internet driven with my opinions and stuff. Like, I wasn't always a free thinker. Like, I had to grow into it. So whatever my social justice warrior friends said on the internet, I thought was law. And like, if it had the most retweets, I thought it was law. Like, so my biggest thing was guns are bad. Basically, guns can never be used for good. And so when I saw that he had a gun, it genuinely frightened me. But now I know it all depends on who has that gun and what their intentions are to use with the gun. Like, the gun itself is not going to kill anybody, but whoever the fuck has the gun might kill somebody. But literally, just a gun in my presence terrified me. Like, even if I went to the mall and I saw a cop with a gun, it terrified me. If I saw like a veteran with a gun, it terrified me. It did not matter who had that gun, the gun scared me. Okay, so I was laying in his bedroom, and he always kept his gun right beside him on the nightstand. He did not keep it locked up, which is something I'm still against. I feel as if you have a gun, you need to keep your gun locked up so that other people who don't know what the fuck they're doing can't get your gun, right? But he never locked his gun up. He had like a Supreme rolling tray, and it had brass knuckles on it, and it had a gun, okay, with some like extra bullets on the side and shit. And I always wondered, like, why the fuck does this nigga have this type of shit? Like, and it would always make me super fucking paranoid. Like, every time I was spending the night at his house, I knew there was a gun right there. And like, whenever we would argue in his room, I would be terrified, like, is this nigga gonna shoot me? And another reason why I was scared is because this didn't happen in front of me, but I remember the first few times where like I was getting to know him, and I would come over to his house and they were still there. Like, even when I broke up with him, there were bullet holes in his room wall. So that's also telling me like this nigga doesn't know what he's doing. Like, and it made me even more nervous than I already was of guns being around me, right? Because like I can go to a range now and I won't freak out, but I even went to a gun range before, a controlled environment with guns, and I was still terrified, like terrified. And yeah, it was just a lot, but basically he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and so that added on to my fear. So we went to the mall this one day, and there was like this little Asian market in the mall, and we would always go there to go and buy Japanese candies. That's just what we would do. We would buy Japanese candies and we would split it with each other and eat it, whatever, right? So this one time we went in there and he saw a sword and he was like,
oh, this sword is dope. I've always wanted a sword. Like, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and buy this sword. It'll be dope.
And in my mind, I'm thinking that he's gonna use it as like a decorative piece, because my old best friend, her older sister who she lived with, her apartment, she had like Asian themed decor, you know, cringy, whatever. And she had like samurai swords on the wall with like a Japanese fan and stuff like that. So that's what I thought he was gonna do, like put it up on his wall as decor. So I was like, oh yeah, that would look really cool or whatever. So he bought the sword. Now what I did not know is that this nigga was actually going to be like playing with the sword, like as if like he's training for some shit to go down. And I would be in his room and he would have the sword and he would just be like doing shit like that. And I remember one time he would like throw the sword up in the air and catch it. And I told him, I'm like, yo, I'm right here. Like, can you please not do that near me? Because if that sword flips up and stabs me, that's gonna be a fucking problem. Like, can you not do that near me?
Oh, you're tripping. Like, I got it. I know what I'm doing.
And I'm like, nigga, you've never fenced in your life. You've never been in a sparring match with anybody with a sword. Like, I was super, even more paranoid, because at that time I was already paranoid about weapons in general. So, and then this nigga got brass knuckles and a gun and shit. So there's a gun right next to you while you're throwing swords in the air like a fucking Circus Soleil ass, I don't even know. Like, there was one night he's doing his normal routine of, you know, doing this shit and thinking that he's fucking Beatrix Kiddo or Samurai Jack. I don't know who the fuck he thought he was. I'm sitting in the bed, but like I'm like pressed against the wall because I'm trying to tell y'all, like, I was so terrified and I did not trust him enough with my fucking life. Like, and that should have been common sense for me to be like, you know, I'm out, but for whatever reason I was still there. Like, bitch, like, get a grip. Oh, and by the way, this happened, if I was a freshman or a senior in high school, this probably happened like 4 or 5 years ago. Just giving y'all a timestamp. Like, I'm 22, this is old. Anyway, he's doing his usual, you know, in the room. I'm pressed against the wall on his bed because I don't want to get hit with the sword, because as I said, I don't trust him. And he threw the sword up, tried to catch it, but he gripped the blade and the sword slid down. Mind y'all, this is not a prop sword. This is steel, okay? This is an actual sword. Like, this is a real sword. Like, no clickbait. This is a real sword, fam, okay? This real. So boom, it happened so fucking fast that like it literally, he went whoop.
I cut myself. I cut myself.
And I was like, what?
I cut myself.
And then he ran to his mom's room. Well, he didn't even run. That's the crazy thing. Like, he calmly power walked to his mother's room, and I'm just sitting in the bed, like, in my head, I'm like, nigga, I told you so. Nigga, I told you so. Like, went to his mom's room and he was like,
Mom, I cut myself.
And she was like,
with what?
And he was like,
with the sword.
That's supposed to be used for self-defense. You're not supposed to be up in there playing with it.
and I'm like, thank you. Like,
Go to the hospital. Go to the hospital.
and I was like, I'll drive him to the hospital. So we get in the car. Mind you, this nigga is not even freaking out. I don't know if it's the shock value or what, but he was really not that bothered by being, his hand was his hand was cut open to the fucking white meat, bitch. Like, it was bad. Like, I couldn't even look at him, and he like didn't wrap it up or nothing. He's just sitting in the car like,
oh bro, this shit cool.
so I'm like, nigga, are you serious? He took a picture of his hand in the car and posted it on Instagram. Like, you want the world to know. You want the world to know how you almost like offed yourself with a samurai sword. We pull up to the hospital. We had to go to the back end of the hospital. I think we went to like St. Vincent's or something. And we went into the hospital and there was like nobody in there, just like a few crackheads and like a little kid that had a stomach virus or some shit, because he yeah, he was not looking too shabby. He was not looking too good. And I remember specifically, like, while we were waiting, I had to use the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom in there, and there was this lady just like throwing up like her brains, and I'm just like, dude, I fucking hate hospitals. I don't like being here. It's traumatic. I want to go. And it's crazy because, like, if my ex was feeling, you know, upset and like, oh my god, what was me, I'm pretty sure I would have had a different attitude towards the whole situation. But because he was very like, oh, this is cool as fuck, blah blah blah, I was aggravated. I was annoyed. So we finally get to the doctor, and it took forever for a doctor to even come to us because, mind you, this is not the best fucking hospital in Jacksonville. So it took forever for a doctor to even come and see this dude. And once the doctor came in, he looked at him, he was like,
so what happened to you?
And I don't know why, but this nigga lied. He said like he cut his hand while cooking. And even the doctor was looking at him like, what? Like, this is a deep ass cut. Like, what type of knife were you using, fam? So I'm just looking at him like, damn, so you just gonna lie? Like, oh, so it's embarrassing now, huh? But literally, so the doctor gave him like, I'm probably gonna be mistaken, but I wanna say it was either 13 to 18 stitches. I don't remember. All I know it was in between, it was in the teens, okay? And it just shocked me because I'm like, damn, like, this is really bad, and you're over here playing like it's not, right? So he got his stitches, and then we went in the car, and, you know, we drove back to his place or whatever. I dropped him off. I didn't stay the night because I was so aggravated. Now, I don't know what happened after this or why I did this, but I specifically remember breaking up with him around this time. And the only reason why I know that I did it, but I don't know why I did it, is because he took a picture of himself smoking a cigarette with his hand cut open before he got his stitches, right? And looking all depressing and dirty and shit. Like, you know how, what was that dude's name that everybody was like, Ian Connor? Like, he trying to look like Ian Connor and shit with the cigarette, looking dirty and with a cut on his hand, right? And he posted that picture to his Instagram, and he was like being real like dramatic in the caption, like, woe is me, I wish you wouldn't have left me, and blah blah blah, I'm in so much pain, basically trying to make it look like he self-inflicted himself or something, and that it was my fault. That's what I got from it. I might be wrong, I don't know, but yeah, he posted that shit, and I'm just like, boy, bye, like, really? But as y'all know from watching my channel, my dumb ass went right on back to him after that, and I genuinely don't even know why I broke up with him. I don't know if it's because he wasn't taking my fears of the weapon seriously and that he was irresponsible, or if it was because he cheated on me, because that nigga cheated on me so many times I really don't even have like a body count. I'm not really sure, but that's pretty much the story. Like, he still played with the sword after that. And yeah, it was a fucking mess. But yeah, moral of the story, I'm gonna start doing morals to my stories so people don't think I'm just like, you know, running my gaps or whatever. Please do not play with weapons. Weapons are not to play with. Weapons are for when the going gets tough, when you have to defend yourself. They're not toys. If you need to practice using weapons, go to a controlled environment that specializes in giving you licensing and training to use said weapon. I don't care if they're nunchucks, brass knuckle, it doesn't matter. Like, you need to know how serious using weapons are, and they're not toys. They're not toys. If you want a toy, go to Walmart and buy a fake gun and buy a fake little switchblade set. Like, they're not toys, okay? If you see if my young people that might be watching, if you find your parents' guns, do not take Instagram pictures with them, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You could shoot yourself. Do not bring guns to school. Do not endanger other people's lives over your stupidity. So that's it for this story, guys. I hope you liked it. Again, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and let me know if anything similar has ever happened to you. Have you ever felt unsafe around somebody because they had weapons? Has somebody ever injured themselves with their own weapons around you? I would love to hear it. See you guys next time. Bye.
The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off.